Thank you. Merci. Next question, Teresa Wright, the Canadian Press, line open.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Could you please explain why will you not make the CERB a universal benefit?
We just move forward in support for students today. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit is there for people who lost a paycheck. We recognize that because of COVID-19, there are many people out of work who were counting on a paycheck to be able to pay for their groceries, to be able to pay their rent. Those people are helped by the CERB. We now are moving forward with direct help for students. In many cases, post-secondary students, school year ends or term ends now at around the end of April, and normally at the beginning of May, they'd be looking for summer jobs. This is something that obviously is not going to happen the same way or as easily this year. That's why we're moving forward with the Canada Emergency Student Benefit that will help students who can't find a job. But on top of that, we're going to be helping students across the country by creating new jobs, by finding areas where young people can serve, can contribute, can get jobs. And if they volunteer, we're going to be rewarding them for volunteering as well. We need to create a range of measures to support young people, and that's what we've done today to the total of $9 billion. At the same time, we recognize that there are further gaps that we need to continue to work on in terms of covering. We've moved very fast for most people, but we continue to work with allies and opposition parties and partners in across areas in the country to deliver more help to those who need it.
Follow-up question.
Today, we are announcing support for students. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit is already helping many people who've lost a paycheck, and we needed to help those people. But we also recognize that students who are finishing their school year would normally be looking for jobs now and for the summer. They will have a tough time finding one, so we will be creating new jobs in sectors where they can make themselves useful. At the same time, we are also delivering an emergency student benefit to ensure that those students who can't find jobs will have money to be able to pay their rent and their groceries.
Follow-up question.
With all due respect, I don't believe you answered the question. We've heard many Canadians who are falling through the gaps. You've even said so yourself. There's a growing push for universal benefit. So why is this something that you are not doing at this point?
Our focus at this point, and from the very beginning, has been on getting help to people who needed it. There are millions of Canadians who need help. There are others who do not need help. And we felt and we feel that targeting the maximum amount of help to the people who needed it quickly was the right way to begin to get through this process. That's what we did with the Canada Emergency Response Benefit that is delivering that help to over 8 million Canadians already. We need to do more. That's why we're announcing the Canada Students Benefit. But our approach has been to give as much help as possible to the people who need it. That's why we took the approach that we did. Okay.
Our approach in this situation and in this crisis has always been to provide as much help as possible to those who need it. There are millions of Canadians who need the emergency response benefit and who need the wage subsidy. So we moved very quickly to deliver those two programs. But there are other Canadians who do not need help at this time. These people continue to work and receive a paycheck, and therefore we can give the money to the people who need it most instead of giving it universally. We need to be there for each other, and we decided to give precedence to the people who need help.
Next question.
Thank you. Merci.
Sur la question du revenu minimum
On
garanti,
the question of the guaranteed minimum income, do you not think it would have been simpler to put in place a more universal program, more open, administratively speaking? In other words, create a single benefit? Rather, why not do that? Were you afraid of significant abuse? Well, there are two aspects to universal benefit. There are some people who think it would have been a simpler solution, but it wouldn't have been much simpler, and maybe not simple as all, in terms of its administration. It's not just as simple as sending a check to every single Canadian, whatever their age or wherever they live. It's always a bit more complicated than that. And second, and this is the major reason, we decided to help, first and foremost, and as much as possible, the people who really need help. So all of these measures we introduced recognize that people have lost jobs, have lost their income because of COVID-19. It's not their fault, and they need income in order to pay for their groceries and support their family and pay their rent. That's why we chose to move in a targeted fashion very quickly to deliver assistance to these people who need help. And that's exactly what we did. We see that more than 8 million Canadians are receiving the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, and we have just announced support for students as well. And there will be future announcements to help other people who need help.